A few weeks ago, in the surplus section of my local electronics store, I found this Tektronix line selector transformer 120 059800. It depends on your power at the mains. It can work either on 120 or 240. And it's also an isolator transformer. I paid about $100, which was a little bit more than what I thought would be a fair price, 75, but $100 nonetheless, it's a good price. It has a huge transformer inside, and it weighs probably a good 20 pounds, if not 30 or so. I haven't really taken apart anything other than just the cover for this video, but I have not seen any of these in YouTube. So I decided to do a quick introduction or presentation of this unit. As I mentioned, the drawings were signed off in 1969, but this unit was produced in the 70s. I want to use it as an isolator for my vintage gear or whatever device under test I need to work on. Now, I wanted to compare how this is wired just from a continuity perspective versus the trip light that I posted a video whereby the ground at the prong, at the plug, it has continuity with every single outlet. This is a little bit different. So just testing for continuity between the ground and the outlets, I can only find continuity with the ground at each of the outlets. But the difference is that there's no continuity with any of the other, either the neutral or the hot. So that's a big difference from the trip light that I bought back in 21, and that I believe in its a few modifications. Now, something that I've found that was interesting is that the setup was like that on the low, and I have 120 volts at the mains. And so what I noticed is that the output, I was getting 140 volts, and that's not something that I was expecting. And I think that the way this works is such that if you set it up in the low setting, it will bump up your volts from the mains. And so I think you have to find out which one will give you the best. I then switched it to high, and I was getting about 106 to 110 volts. So that wasn't necessarily, the best approach or the best setting for that. And then I decided to bring it to the medium setting, and at that point I was getting about 110. 115 volts, more aligned with what you would expect for some of the units, in particular the vintage equipment. So the way you change the settings here, it's fairly straightforward. You unscrew this, remove the cap. It has a couple of fuses depending on whether if you're using the 120 or 240. And then this plug, you just move it. You have to unplug it first, carefully, because this is old equipment. So you unplug this and then move it over to the next section, the medium, and just put this back. And that is it. And it's ready. Now I'm getting 110 volts. It's not plugged, but I already tested that. There's nothing much to it. It's a very straightforward transformer, isolator, and I think it's well worth the $100. I think I spent back in 21 about $150 for the single outlet trip light that honestly needs to be modified, and with this one at least I have 3 outlets. And one thing to point out, it's I was getting about 115 on this one and then 110 volts on the other two. I don't know why there is a difference in voltage from this to these other two, but that's how the unit was designed, and it's very much specified here. Well, I hope you enjoy watching this old vintage Tektronix as much as I've enjoyed it. Thank you.